Well, the trip to Toronto started early at the airport. It was a red-eye flight, no stops, just push to get there. Toronto was the landing point, but not the destination yet. The first stop was simple: food, supplies, and settling in. Oshawa Center became the reset point after the trip, before everything shifted into competition days and driving routes. That first evening was a mix of movement and pause, coffee, quick stops, and a moment to reset before the days ahead began. We stopped in Ajax at the Mackenzie pub to have some dinner. The next day we had coffee in the lobby and drove to Allora, one of those towns that doesn't try too hard.
Driving to Allora.
The gorge, the old mill, and the streets all carry their own pace. This is where we had dinner, a lovely table at the Old Mill restaurant. We had a beautiful view of the gorge and a beautiful dinner. Cheers to the beginning of our trip. There was a beautiful little street with a lot of little shops. Some of them weren't open. We had the Blackbird, and they carried basically tourist gifts and some clothing. On our way home, we discovered a little town called Newmarket. We looked at it, had some fun there, and then we had coffee and dessert before we returned to our hotel. Next day, back into the city. Toronto always shifts the pace. Busier, louder, structured around movement and stops. We went to the distillery district and had lunch before we went to the Eaton Center. And then at the Eaton Center, we shopped and had our coffee, and then to the game. This was the reason for the trip: the focus, the competition, and the long build-up towards finals. And we stopped in the afternoon into Port Perry. We had dinner. That was a pasta dish. The next day, finals. My daughter competed. Lo and behold, she won silver. What an exciting thing for her. And after the competition, we went for dinner in Port Hope, a quiet break before the final stretch home. We had pasta at the famous Trattoria restaurant. I promised my daughter Chick-fil-A, her favorite food, just because she won and she tried so hard. Then off into Mississauga, did a little bit more shopping at the district shopping center, and on our way home, finally. And then finally back home again, unpacking bags, keeping the memories, and already thinking about the next adventure. Sometimes the best part of travel is returning home with a fuller heart and the Blue Jays mug that now reminds me of the trip.